Welcome to REI Pro Talk, where real estate investors turn for the latest news, tips, and tricks from the real in the trenches pros. Tune in to hear Chris Goff, the nation's premier real estate investing powerhouse. Join up with other top pros in the investing world as they cover every topic. No fluff, no filler, no holds barred. All you need to know from start to paycheck.
Josephine, pre-foreclosure. Hi, guys. Thank you for taking our questions. My husband and I are trying to get involved with pre-foreclosures. We try to focus, but I find many of them very pricey. We are based in New York and have some experience of Long Island, so researching properties there. Any concrete advice on how to screen our deals? We have bought a pre-foreclosure in the past at auction. I think I have analysis paralysis. How do we take the first concrete steps to get a good deal and not over worry about the financing? No, there must be deals out there. Thank you. Husband is in construction. I'm an RE agent.
I don't think there are any expensive houses in New York, right?
Might not be right now.
Kidding. You can't buy a bathroom in New York for $100,000, right? I mean, but hey, I love expensive areas, especially with pre-foreclosures, by the way. And I want to go back, and my response is not very long, but I do want to clarify just a couple of things. When I look at a pre-foreclosure, price is irrelevant to me. Like, it has nothing to do, to a point, has nothing to do with the actual structuring the deal and doing the deal from start to finish. Okay. Because I need to focus on what are the back payment amounts? What actual cash am I going to need to put into the deal? So you find $1 million property, they may only be $20,000 behind on payments. It may need $50,000 in repairs to put it back on the market to resell. When you make up the back payments, Josephine, that stops the auction. There's no more auction anymore because the loan is now brought current. But in that example, I really only need $70,000 of my money versus $1 million. I know you mentioned here you had bought a pre-foreclosure at auction, but when you buy a property at auction, you're really paying the minimum bid or whatever bid that you won in full. And that will get extremely expensive. Most people could only buy one house at a time that way. But when we're working seller financing with pre-foreclosures, I only need money to make up the back payments, fix up the house, some holding costs, and some other things. So I put a slide together actually for you, just to kind of break down some of the important pieces that I want to focus on. Number one, what is the after repaired value, right? So obviously that's the number one thing that we need to look at no matter what strategy we're focused on. The next one is the loan balance. So what do they actually owe on that property? What is the balance of it? What we need to obviously see the equity in the property in order to structure this type of deal. If there is no equity, you would have to buy it either by a short sale or it's going to auction. Okay. I don't want to focus on that part when I talk about pre-foreclosures. What is the back payment amount? Most of the banks will use the terminology reinstatement amount. This is really what they've failed to pay on top of penalties, attorney's fees. It's going to start adding up every single month. So the sooner we get to the owner and figure this out, the sooner we could do something. Obviously, the repairs, what does the home need to be fixed up and resold? Holding cost. What are their current monthly payments? Because you're going to have to once you make up the back payments, the loan is brought current. So it's no longer in foreclosure. But I'm going to have to keep making those monthly payments until I get the home fixed up and resold to a new buyer. I would focus on the average days on the market in the area that you're looking. And then the last one, which I think is probably the most important, is the buyer pool. So if I go buy an expensive property, I guess my only concern would be how many buyers are looking to buy a home like this at this price point. If you were working a $30 million property, the pool of buyers is so low that you probably wouldn't do the deal. So there is a point where it could get too expensive, but I don't really focus on price for these types of transactions. I really focus on how much equity is in there, how much are the back payment amounts, how much are the repairs, the holding cost, how much hard cash am I going to have to use in order to do this deal. Now, once I put it back on the market, I'll fix it up, put it back on the market. Once I sell the property to a new buyer, then that's going to pay off the original loan on the property, pay back my expenses, and then any profits that are left over. So one of my students did a pre-foreclosure in the Bronx. Okay, so this was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and it was valued at $1.2 million. And we put it under contract for $700,000. And he put $200,000 in repairs, totally, completely remodeled this. It was beautiful. That's a huge profit. I mean, you're looking at a $300,000 profit on one deal. I mean, for most people, most people don't make $100,000 a year. You just did $300,000 on one deal. And you got all of your money back, which wasn't the full amount. It was just the back payments, the repairs, the holding costs. And then you go do it again. And you keep doing this over and over and over again. And if you look at the ROI on the money that you're using, it's a no-brainer. A no-brainer. Because if you did that, if you put in, let's just say you put in $100,000 of your own money, okay, and you made, let's just say, $50,000 on one deal. So you got all your 100 back, plus you made $50,000. If I did that 4 times in 1 year, what would the return on investment be if you made, that would be $200,000 profit and you got all your money back? It's a home run. And that's what I love about pre-foreclosures. And just think about all the people you're helping out there. So if you haven't already, I would definitely be getting into our training in the education center and go through that whole pre-foreclosure training series, because that is really going to help guide you, exactly how much money do we really need to do a pre-foreclosure? And I think that might be an extremely valuable resource for you. So,
well, really, the whole education center is valuable. That's why we put it out there for everybody.
Well, I like to think so, since I do the education, but you never know, right?
Thanks for listening to REI Pro Talk. If you've ever wanted to jump into the real estate game, get started with the #1 software for real estate investors on the planet, REI Pro. Start for free at www.myreipro.com.